how is the situation in Lucknow these days about the protests?
Sir, right now there is the violence factor has lessened. The protests are going on in some areas like Clock Tower and all old Lucknow, but no significant violent event has occurred. So I think it's good.
No blockade of roads.
No, sir. As of now, it's better.
Yes, I find that you did research
Yes, sir.
as JRF and
Yes, sir.
a senior research fellow
Yes, sir.
for almost 3 years. You have finished your research fellowship?
So actually, I was working on a project. That project is completed. The objectives have been completed.
So from this, one gets the impression that you are more academically inclined. All right?
Yes, sir. I enjoy learning things.
Okay. So you want to become a teacher?
No, sir. When I started my education, my graduation in the first year itself, I started participating in volunteer organizations also. So academics and learning new things is another passion of mine, but I want to become an civil servant.
Yesterday, one of the judges of Supreme Court made a public statement about our Prime Minister. I don't know whether you saw it, I was on TV, and he made a statement which was rather disturbing. He said, in praise of Mr. Modi, he said that Mr. PM Modi is a very versatile genius. And he thinks globally and acts locally. Do you approve of such? Do you endorse such public statements? And that too from a member of judiciary, top of judiciary.
Sir, since he has made that statement publicly, I would say it does not look good if somebody says such things in public. In his personal capacity, the Prime Minister is everybody's Prime Minister. So he could have made that remark not publicly but on a personal ground.
Yes. But anyway, he has created a controversy now to show some kind of kickback sort of thing, some nexus of kickback.
Yes, it looks
between
bad.
the executive and the, we have got separation of power, and judiciary is supposed to be very, how should I say, independent. It should not be there. Such a statement from, it is very unfortunate for the country and unfortunate for democracy too. Okay, you are a student of biotechnology and you opted for agriculture.
Yes.
You know a lot about genetic manipulation, what do you call it? Genetic modification. So we have created BT brinjal. What is GT or BT?
It's a BT.
BT brinjal. It is of good quality, and but what is preventing the government of India to declare genetic modification of other products, seeds or whatever, as illegal? They are preventing it. Why?
Sir, as of now, India deals with such problems on a case on case basis. The approvals are given by Genetic Engineering Approvals Committee on a case basis. But the problem they are highlighting is that when such plants are created, the research at present is they have only data about the plant, whether it will be toxic to consumption or not. They don't have sufficient researches around the effect of that plant on farmers or the microflora of this soil. So for consumers, they have declared that they have done toxicity studies. So
it is not toxic.
No, sir, it's not toxic.
So what is its effect on the soil?
On soil microflora and other species of organisms that depend on the plant. say for example the pollinator species or the insects that are pests even. In that sense, they are saying that the studies should be more extensive before we go for a large scale production of such crops. That's why BT brinjal has been hanging since 2010.
So is some research going on?
Sir, not in case of BT brinjal, but in the case of GM mustard, we in 2018 they have started a trial in Punjab Agriculture University. ICAR is funding the research and they are trying to find out the effects in pollinators. So that's a good step in this direction.
Okay. Because that seems to be the only hope for us to ensure implementation of food security. We are short of food.
So newer models are emerging.
Ah.
Say for example Netherlands. So it is the second highest exporter of food items after USA. So Netherlands have not used any genetically modified crop. They have actually decided, they have declared themselves to be not using these things. So they have used a very integrated model. They are recycling wastewater using that. They are going for vertical farming. In a very integrated approach, they have tackled this problem. So I wouldn't say that this is the last hope, but since we have very large diversity and we have so many crops, we cannot go for every crop like this in vertical farming and all. So then we can have an integrated model where we can try all the kinds of techniques which are available to us and see what fits our particular needs.
Is there no conspiracy behind all this? Is somebody preventing India?
So I don't think there is any controversy.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy. So in terms of what
Somebody maybe some foreign powers may be trying that India should not become self-sufficient in food production.
So India is already self-sufficient in food.
Okay, then we can export certain things to poor countries like Africa. If we increase our yield, we can.
Sir, I'm not very aware of this angle, but I think that India is self-sufficient in a lot of food grains. We are exporting. We are the largest exporter of milk and vegetable products also. So maybe we have to improve the
No, if we are
export.
self-sufficient, then you said that we are self-sufficient. Then why are we talking about food security yet?
So we are
Why
talking
do
about
we talk
that.
about starvation deaths?
Yes. So we are talking about that because whatever food surplus we have is not equitably distributed among all the people in the country. And so far the estimates have also been like that we are not going to stabilize our population by 2050 at least. So the requirement will keep on increasing and the land we have is limited.
So we should change our methodology also.
Yes, sir.
We should go in for
We should try. We should try everything that is
right earnest. We should try. Do we need another revolution? Green revolution?
Yes, sir. I think we do because at
For
present
inclusive,
for inclusive growth and at present we have the technologies that we can move in this direction and the yield can be improved when we compare our production yields to other countries like China. We are very good exporters because we have a lot of land under cultivation but the productivity is low. So we can improve on that front and we can become comparable to at least the major exporters.
Okay, now what are the challenges facing Uttar Pradesh?
So in terms of agriculture or general?
General.
Sir, Uttar Pradesh is having a lot of different problems. In terms of agriculture also we are having a crisis. Then the women's safety is a very major issue in Uttar Pradesh. The maternal and child health also is an issue. We do not have heavy industries in Uttar Pradesh much. We don't have service sector industries, service sector operating in Uttar Pradesh. And as of currently, we are also seeing the pollution levels increasing in a lot of our cities. So there are many problems, and governments, both state and central, they are both working on a lot of fronts.
And what about female feticides?
Yes, sir. That women safety at all levels is threatened in Uttar
Literacy rate
Pradesh.
is very low.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Shubhamji,
Yes.
You have done some course in IIT also.
Yes, sir. I was doing my research project at IIT Delhi.
Where is it based?
So IIT Delhi.
Which area?
Sir, Hotchkiss.
Hoskas. Why is it called Hoskas?
So it has a monument, ancient. Say, I'm unable to recall at the moment. I'm sorry.
What is a horse? What is a horse? It's an Urdu word.
So I think it's a well, but I'm not very sure.
Well, a pond
It's
or lake.
some water body. I'm not
Some
extremely
water
sure
body.
about.
There is a deer park opposite that. If you go inside, you will reach that Hoskas area. And there is Hoskas, horse pond, khas hai. Why it is khas? You find out from
There
history.
is a horse cast, there is a horse Rani also.
Horse Rani.
Horse running.
Find out why it is
It is
khas.
called horse running.
Horse Rani.
अच्छा.
The females के लिए नाम horse Rani.
There is something called Kazi horse. Have you heard of that?
No, sir, not
Kazi
Horse.
horse.
Okay.
Horse
That is in
Kazi.
Old Delhi.
Horse Kazi.
Horse Kazi.
So someone may ask you this question.
Thank you.
You should know that. And you are with ICGEB,
Yes, sir.
which is in the JNU campus.
Yes, it's nearby the gym.
And what is that road called?
Sir, Aruna Asaf Ali, ma'am.
Who was Aruna Asif Ali?
Ma'am, sir, she was a freedom fighter.
What is so unique about her name? There is something attached to her about her freedom struggle.
So I'm not aware.
So you should find out. So, related to the 1942 Quit India movement. Okay? Okay, you tell me you're from UP. How many prime ministers from UP?
So so I think 7.
You know their names?
So not all of them.
Some of them? Try.
Sir, Jawaharlal Nehru, sir. Indira Gandhi, ma'am. Sir, Narendra Modi, sir, as well. So I think I.K. Gujral, sir, is also from there. I'm not sure. The VP Singh, I don't know. I'm not.
So you find out.
I'll remember, sir. Thank you.
There was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri. Have
Yes,
you
sir.
heard his
Lal
name?
Bahadur Shastri, sir. Yes.
Huh? You have heard his name? Of course, you said correct. Srimati Indira Gandhi, Shri Rajiv Gandhi,
Yes, sir.
Shri Charan Singh. Have you heard his name?
Yes, sir.
He was there only for 24 days, but he was Prime Minister.
Yes,
Then you also have VP Singh, Vishwanath Pratap Singh, Shri Chandrasekhar,
yes,
Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
yes, sir.
Huh? Then you have our present Prime Minister. But you gave some indicators and you were expressing your displeasure and sadness. Why is UP so backward? In spite of the fact that all these people, all Prime Minister, very powerful people from UP.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, I wouldn't say that UP is backward. We have come a long way, but still a lot of potential is there.
Yeah. So why is it not among the best when it has nearly 9 Prime Ministers, former Prime Ministers? Have these leaders failed UP? They have succeeded, maybe at the national level, but have they failed their own constituencies?
Sir, I wouldn't go as far as to say that they have failed. I believe that UP has one of the largest rural population in the country. We have 77% of our people belonging to rural areas. So there is a certain lag whenever even the best of policies are implemented. There is a lag in penetration of those areas. UP is also the one of the most populated states of the country. So we anyways have a larger burden and a greater responsibility. So that may be a reason. I wouldn't say that we have failed, but we have a long way to go, definitely.
No, I'm not saying the people have failed. I'm saying these leaders have failed the people. Can't one Prime Minister develop one constituency? Have you said your grandfather is from Varanasi. Have you been to Varanasi recently?
Yes, sir.
When did you go?
So last year.
Last year. Has it changed in the last 5 years?
Yes, sir, a lot.
A lot.
Yes.
So why it didn't change in others?
Sir,
Think
I'll
over this
have
up.
to read about it.
Yeah, think and read about it, okay? Recently, the Supreme Court gave some judgment regarding empowerment of women. Are you aware of it? Regarding the army?
Yes.
What is it?
So they have allowed the appointment of women in command positions in armed forces,
And more importantly,
and they have also allowed for permanent commission for women.
and what they haven't been able to give a judgment on, or the next agenda that women want, that
So
we
they
should
are
also be
trying,
allowed.
about the combat roles in armed
What's
forces.
your view?
Sir, I think that they should definitely get whoever is eligible, be it a male or female. If they are eligible for the post, if they have the caliber to prove themselves, they should be given a chance.
So, what is the counter argument?
So the counter argument they are providing is that women is a vulnerable section of the society in the case of events like sabotage by the enemy, or them being
Sabotage? Or captured?
captured, sorry,
Hmm.
captured by the enemy. There would be a lot of repercussions in that sense.
And so, what's your opinion on this?
Sir, I think India should take a lead, and they should develop some.
So, it's okay if women are captured, and the trauma that the country may undergo, that the parents may undergo, and there is a dharna in front of the Prime Minister office, then what happens?
Sir,
Will it help the Indian Army, or it will create a problem for the Indian Army?
Sir, just because of the gender, we shouldn't be denied to decide our own fates. So instead of other people telling women what they
Are you aware of any other country allowing combat role for women?
Sir, not exactly. Some countries are allowing. UK is allowing, but they have their own conventions that women fighter pilots won't be flying in foreign above foreign territories. They will be flying in their own territory only. They have developed different conventions. There is no blanket ban. So that's my point also, that we can develop conventions. India can take a lead and talk to nations about developing conventions in such cases that women are captured. There should be an international consensus. If there is a war, what should be the standard operating procedure in that case? Countries should agree on that. Instead of limiting the potential of women, they should agree on a particular set of protocols that are going to be followed. So India can take a lead on that and become an example.
Okay. You take interest in foreign policy?
Sometimes.
What is your favorite area?
Sir, humanitarian help.
Humanitarian help. Okay, did you read the newspaper today?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
What is the big story about coronavirus and India and China?
So, coronavirus is a respiratory syndrome.
No, that I know. Today there was the news regarding.
Yes, so there was a controversy that some Indian official made a statement that Wuhan is delaying the rescue.
Wuhan is delaying?
China, sorry. China is delaying the rescue operation of 100 Indian citizens living in China. They are not allowing us to send our.
Why?
So it was denied by the Chinese side
What they have denied?
that they are not deliberately causing any delay.
But the Indian Foreign Ministry is saying that they have cancelled the permission, while others are being allowed to go.
Yes, sir.
Does it indicate that our relationship is also dictating these humanitarian issues?
Sir, ideally it should be.
Ideally, what is the position?
So India has been very cordial. India, despite of us facing the similar threat, we have offered help to China with masks and other medical equipment. So it shouldn't be the case. There must be some other explanation to it.
Oh, thank you.
Shubhangi,
Yes, sir.
you have studied agriculture as option. So, could you tell me what is the cause of this present rural distress?
So, I can say there are multiple reasons which interplay into this crisis. First being the faulty agricultural practices in the country, which are somewhere influenced by the MSP policy also. But basically, the scientific farming is not performed in the country, which translates into very limited marketable surplus of the farmers, so that they are not able to repay the loans or go ahead with the harvest and sowing even in the other next season, which translates into their indebtedness. And
On the other hand, we have food surplus. Actually, we don't want our production to increase any further.
yes, sir.
We are already reached record levels, and it is a problem of storage of that plenty.
Yes, sir.
So, how do you reconcile this earlier statement with this thing?
So the MSP policy has to be improved. Instead of giving it for very few crops, and the procurement is only given for wheat and rice. So instead of that, we should come up with scientific techniques according to the agroclimatic conditions of the area. The farmers should be educated, made aware to grow such crops which suit their environment, and MSP support should be provided for all kinds of crops.
Right now, how many crops are covered by MSP?
Sir, 27.
27, but only 2 are procured.
Only 2 are.
Suppose the government says, okay, we will procure all the 27.
Yes, sir.
Can the government do it? Is
Sir,
it possible
we
for
do
the
not
government?
have the capacity for that. But there are schemes which are coming up
So,
where
in that case, supposing there is a crop for which there is an MSP,
yes, sir.
nobody wants to buy the crop at that particular MSP. Government is not procuring because it doesn't have the capacity, they are procuring only wheat and rice. So, what happens in that case? What can be the solution?
Sir, we can go for price deficiency payment to the farmers directly. Instead of procuring, we can pay to them directly. And recently, a PM Asha scheme was unveiled, which had the private stockist scheme also, wherein the state governments are now indulging with the private players, and they are telling them to procure these food items at MSP, and the deficiency payment will be given by the government. In that case, we will be able to solve the dearth of storage space.
You are aware of a differential scheme which was run by Madhya Pradesh government, Bhavantar?
Yes, sir.
That also proved out to be a disaster. Are you aware what was the problem in that?
So I don't remember.
Because the farmers and the traders they combined and
Yes, sir.
cheated the government.
Cartelization is a problem.
So again that differential thing is also not the right solution. So some other thing in your mind which can be done.
So food processing can be increased.
Why does the farmer have to sell the produce in distress? That is the first thing which we have to see.
So because we don't have storage facilities, so
That's
they
what I
have
was
to
coming to. So we have to build up
storage.
adequate storage capacities so that farmer can store it and sell it when the price is right. Okay. Now green revolution,
Yes, sir.
it was hailed like anything. But now they are saying the present problems of Punjab actually emanated from that practices adopted during green revolution. So what's your take on that?
Sir, I can answer this question in 2 parts. So first is about the success of green revolution. I would say that green revolution was successful to the extent that the objective it was that was decided for it has been achieved, and we have seen prosperity in terms of food grain production. In second case, the problems of Punjab right now is overutilization of groundwater and uranium contamination in the water. And they have also seen reverses due to decreasing soil fertility because they have been using a lot of inorganic inputs. So all of these, because they were popularized in the region during the Green Revolution, may be attributed to that person to some extent.
The Punjab farmer is still indulging in rice farming and the water table has gone down significantly.
Yes.
So can they not be advised to shift away from rice now?
So they can be advised for that.
Okay. Now Andhra started something else, zero budget farming.
Yes, sir.
So how does it compare with this? Is it a solution?
Sir, it could be a solution for those farmers who are only farming for, I would say, not for food security. It's not good for food security. The casual farming that people do, urban farming, all those things, it's good for. But when we go think about the food security, the results are not as
The
good.
results will not be that good.
Yeah.
Okay. There is also a talk that this the genetic engineering which is done for in the crops to have increased yields and all is also leading to disappearance of some of the varieties. So how is that okay, or we should do something to preserve those, because it might turn up later on that that particular species was very good for this kind of environment, and but we have lost it already.
So, for this very reason, an integrated farming approach should be followed, and traditional knowledge should not be overlooked, because those crops are already conditioned according to the general climate of local climate, and they are much better suited for our diet. So, the conservation of local species is important. They might turn out to be
How
a
to
gold
do
medal.
it? Because once you introduce this high yielding varieties, farmers have a tendency to shift
Yes.
and abandon that. But how do we preserve that?
Uh,
Can
sir,
there be
better
some kind
seeds-
of bank for this? Or
Yes, sir, it's seed village scheme
has something been done on this?
Yes, a seed village scheme has been introduced, wherein the farmers are being given these kind of seeds instead of the terminator seeds that are provided by the high yielding variety industries. And when we will provide them good quality seeds of traditional varieties as well, their main motive is to produce large, and they also want to reduce their input price. So these seeds, because they are not produced through any specific technology, they will be cheaper for them as well. So this can be done to incentivize them to shift to traditional varieties.
Under the RTI Act, what are the best practices that have been adopted by the central government of late? Good practices in governance.
So e-governance is in the areas, for example, environmental clearances used to take a lot of time earlier. So government has created a one-stop window called Parivesh. So similar steps are being taken in multiple fronts where single window clearances are being provided. So transparency is improved, efficiency is improved.
RTI permits the CPIO to withhold information on certain grounds. RTI Act. Are you aware of them? Any of them?
Sir, on the grounds of national security.
That is a guess you made, no? Or you knew it?
No, sir, I know.
Any others? Any other grounds? If it causes a personal security to the personal threat
So
perception
their
to the,
personal information cannot be asked through RTI.
and a personal it causes a threat to the person concerned, so it can be denied to him. Okay. Now, which is the fully organic state you would be in the country?
Yes, sir, Sikkim.
Okay. What is the role? What is the stubble burning issue that is being debated?
So stubble burning in Sikkim?
No, in Punjab or elsewhere in the vicinity in the adjoining states of Delhi. How much is it causing a pressure on the environment?
Sir, as far as CPCB report has reported, they have told that 46% of the Delhi's pollution is attributed to the stubble burning in Punjab and Haryana. So it is causing a lot of pollution in terms of increasing the PM 2.5 and PM 10 levels in the vicinity.
Are any steps being taken to contain the menace?
Yes, sir. A lot of fines were imposed on the farmers, but
Any
as
incentives were being given?
yes,
Yeah.
so incentives were being given, and they are also being provided happy seeder technology. These are particular seeders which uproot the plant altogether instead of leaving the stubble.
Was the budget populist? The
So
last
the
budget,
president-
yes. Was it populist? People say it was a populist budget.
So I wouldn't say it was a populist budget. It was reflective of the present needs of the country. Because we are facing agrarian crisis, a lot of emphasis was made on
That
agriculture.
is a good defense you put up. Is there a difference between an NGO and a society?
Civil society and NGOs.
Society also performs tasks. You can register yourself under the Society Registration Act and perform any task. Similarly, NGOs also are there to perform tasks. Is there a difference between the two? Or, I mean, areas where one cannot work, or the types of control that the government can exercise on either of them, NGO and a society?
Sir, I don't have a lot of knowledge in the area, but I can make a guess that NGOs are liable to scrutiny under FCRA Act, Foreign Contributions Regulations.
What are the centers of excellence? Centers of excellence?
Sir, centers of excellence. Sir, I'm unable to recall at the moment.
You read today's newspapers? Hindu? Have you read the Hindu today?
No, sir.
No. Anyway, what is the generalized system of preferences?
So, generalized system of preferences is a kind of a waiver that is provided by developed countries to developing countries. And USA revoked the GPS status of India last year.
What is the concept of time zone while traveling? What should be kept? What are the main features of the time zone while you are traveling globally? I am not able to convey to you what I want to ask. No? Okay, anyway, I'll put another question. In the central government, there is a department which controls, monitors, and keeps in all the ministries on board, and it divides the functions between different ministries. What is the department in the central government? Which monitors the activities, which assigns the roles to different ministries, central government.
Sir, I'm unable to recall.
Cabinet Secretariat? The Cabinet Secretariat? Cabinet Secretariat
Yes, sir.
performs that role. Okay.
I was thinking about a department.
As you thought it would be a ministry or a department. Anyway, Cabinet Secretariat.
Thank you.
What is the role of ethics in governance? Does it have any role to play at all? Or it should be left to the various conduct rules and the government controls over the government civil servants?
So ethics are important in every field, so they are important in governance as well. And since governance is having such a huge responsibility of, they are responsible for a lot of lives. So ethics plays a very important role. If there is a lack of ethics, corruption can creep up, and that creates a burden on every project, everything that is being carried out. It creates delays. It creates siphoning of funds. So ethics is very important in governance. It should not be left to code of conduct.
Thank you, Shubhangi. What is the meaning of your name, Shubhangi?
Sir, embodiment of luck.
Embodiment of luck.
Yes.
Okay. So you are congenitally lucky, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now your mock interview is over. Now we'd like to share our experiences with you. You can go down and you can separately get the video recording. First of all, you mentioned about various personalities, various prime ministers. You forgot to put, suffix Shri on this stuff. Please, even though they are no more, many of them, but we have to give them due respect.
Yes.
Shri, that's not ठीक रहेगा आपके. Your articulation is okay, no issue, but hello? So that is very important. You have to put Shri. In case of Prime Minister is enough. Not Mr. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister Modi is okay there. And but try to speak slow. Slow down the pace of your speech. Because when you speak fast, clarity is sometimes affected adversely. And speak a little aloud. Your सॉफ्ट वॉइस थोड़ा ज़्यादा, मतलब वैसे ठीक है बट थोड़ा ज़्यादा उसको वॉल्यूम को थोड़ा बढ़ा दें. एंड आई हैव नोटिस्ड वर्बोसिटी इन योर आंसर्स, वेरी लॉन्गिश आंसर्स. समटाइम्स वी डिड नॉट आस्क यू समथिंग एंड यू स्टार्टेड रिस्पॉन्डिंग टू दैट. सो आंसर शुड बी शॉर्ट. Board in UPSC board does not like, no board would like long answers. You don't like to hear long speeches also. Like Mr. Modi goes on speaking for 1 hour. Nobody likes, people get bored easily. Same thing for us, it's human psychology. We want everything short, quick. I don't say bullet point, but short in the ideas. Always try to give a pause before you start answering. जब आप क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू डोंट रश टू आंसर इट. 7-10 सेकेंड्स का पॉज जरूर दीजिए एंड गिव एन इम्प्रेशन टू द बोर्ड दैट यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट द क्वेश्चन, यू आर अप्लाइंग योर माइंड टू इट, यू आर फॉर्मुलेटिंग a reply, and that reply should be very effective reply. It's a test of your personality, that means your communication skill. That's a major part of your test. How do you communicate with people? Your knowledge is not under test. We have asked you so many questions, you could not reply. So that same is with me and with everybody. We also can't reply to so many questions. So don't short answers बनाइए, right? Not very short but short. No long answers will create problems for you. And when you give long answers, they will invite more trouble, more questions from the board. क्वेश्चन में से एक और क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे आपसे नेक्स्ट. इफ दे वांट टू embarrass you or harass you, they will do like this. But they are testing your patience, they are testing your stress level. क्या आपको नर्वस तो नहीं हो रही है, वो चीज़ें. कॉन्फिडेंस इज़ वेरी नेसेसरी विच यू हैव इन एम्पल मेजर, एंड योर आर्टिकुलेशन इज़ वेरी गुड. स्लो कर दीजिए उसको थोड़ा और पॉज ज़रूर दीजिए और हर एक क्वेश्चन आंसर को मैच्योर वे में बताइए ज़रा. Your answers are very okay, but sometimes they sound like textbook like. So it should be simple language. कोई technical language मत करिए, simple language use करिए. And eye contact also you must keep eye contact with everybody. है ना, एक fix मत करिए, but have a look at other members. When you enter the chamber, if the chairperson is a male, then first the chairperson. Always the chairperson you wish good morning sir or good evening sir. But make it good evening sirs and look at the chairperson and look at others. Don't do it individually. That's very important. And if there is a lady member also, then afterwards good morning madam. Similarly, if the lady member is a chairperson, which is very likely, then you say good morning to madam and then good morning sirs. इतना याद रखिएगा. And no loose hair. जैसा आपके पास tight in the form of a knot. No loose hairs. It sends a very wrong message. And about your attire. Your planning to wear a sari? What color sari?
So it's very light peach color.
Peach.
So I have another one in light, very light pink.
I think this color is the best. Many girls wear this. मैं पर्सनली देखा है. I have worked in UPSC, तो यही ज़्यादातर ये डोंट वियर वाइट साड़ी और एनी ऑफ ब्राउन साड़ी, ऐसा नहीं करिए. दिस इज द वेरी प्लेजेंट कलर. तो उसमें आप ऑफ वाइट कलर रख लीजिए एंड प्लेन साड़ी विद ए स्मॉल थिन बॉर्डर. ठीक है, जिस बॉर्डर का आप बॉर्डर है उसी का ब्लाउज होना चाहिए, उसी कलर का, तो मैच कर जाएगा. ठीक है. एंड साड़ी विल बी प्लेन, दैट आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू. और स्लो बोलिए ज़रूर आप. मूव लाइक बुलेट ट्रेन, थोड़ा स्लो करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा. अदरवाइज गुड मटेरियल फॉर सिविल सर्विस.
Shubhi, you have a very pleasing personality. It comes out as very nice, and your voice is also okay, but you're speaking very fast. And you must not give an impression of that you're just speaking for the sake of speaking. You are planning to now become an IS officer, senior officer. You must give an impression, look, I am the exactly right candidate because this is how I look, this is how I talk, this is my opinion. I fit into that category because basically they are looking for that quality. Knowledge is over. They are not testing your knowledge. They are testing your personality. Personality based on your opinion, personality on your communication, on your confidence. Okay, sometimes you give an impression as if you are nervous, don't you? I know you may not be nervous, but you open up your eyes very wide and you give the impression as if you are very nervous. No, the thing you should not be laughing, but you should be smiling and comfortable. And don't hold back. If there is something to smile, you should smile. That gives an impression that here is a confident person, at ease, comfortable. Okay, so that is what they are looking for. And speak slowly, speak limited, because you speak good English, so it doesn't mean you have to just keep on and on and on speaking, because you will open up many vulnerable areas. Something you will speak that you may not be strong at, and someone will take that as the main 2-3 questions on it. Okay, so be careful. So be prepared for all. Why JNU is in controversy? What are the issues? And student protest, student activism. There are a number of issues. There is endless number of issues. The point is that you read the paper. When you read the paper, you will get some idea about a lot of things. And then bullet points, you jot them down. Foreign policy issues, national security policy issues, science and technology. ESSER put so much emphasis on agriculture, doubling the farmer's income, and all these kind of things. Put it down so that you can reply in a very informed manner, not like a generalist. You are just applying something. You have agriculture as your subject. Someone may be from agriculture sitting on the board. He will ask you any number of questions. Okay, so broadly, you are a good candidate, you have a good personality, but you need to keep all this in mind so that you can scale up your effort. Okay, thank you.
You are quite good. Just you have to control the flow at which you speak and bring it in. Don't make your answer very long. Otherwise, your knowledge level is very good. I was impressed.
In the budget, I expected you to give 2 points. Many points have been said against and for the budget. But when I did make a suggestion that it was populist, you could have simply said that on these 2 counts it is being stated to be populist. However, my view is that. So give the examiner some breathing space instead of simply over bulldozing him that it was not a populist. Give 2 points and said these are 2 things on which it is being said that it is. But my view is I don't agree with it. That is one. Centers of excellence you must go through. Okay, that you must read them through. There are several of them. Hyderabad, just go through the.
Sir, I was a little bit confused with the institutes of excellence. I got.
Oh, it's the
confused
centers
with-
between centers and.
Yes, I got confused
Teach
with that.
eminence.
So thank you.
You did very well.
Very well. You
Wish you
will
all
do
the
well.
best.
I don't know your
Just
performance
maintain
remains.
this tempo.
कैसा आपका performance रहा?
So it was good.
That's good. First time you are going for the mock.
This is my second month.
नहीं उसमें इंटरव्यू में कब है आपका?
Sir, interview is on 26th of March.
मार्च।
That's my first interview.
आप आना चाहें तो बीच में 1-to-1 सेशन के लिए रजिस्टर करा लीजिए। आई विल बी देयर।
Maintain this tempo. It's all right.
Yeah, you will do very well. We will all try to facilitate your elevation.
I myself also I know that I have this tendency to speak very fast because
You speak very fast. Note हो जाता है एकदम।
That is mainly because you speak
Because-
well, so you want to.
And you are knowledgeable also.
हाँ, no, so, but be careful. This is a trap, you know. Don't fall into.
कोशिश करिए कि लॉन्ग आंसर को शॉर्ट कर दें,
Template करके.
तो अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगा सब।
Yes, sir.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू।
Thank you.